Hello friends, welcome to Latina Living History. I'm Katie, the Latina, and as you can see, I do living history. Today I'm going to be doing Robin, SewLoud's Costumer 20 questions so you can get to know me a little bit. Rich is going to help me by asking the questions because his accent is a lot nicer than mine.
What was your first costume? Bonus if you share an embarrassing photo.
Alright, unfortunately, I don't have any embarrassing photos, but I do have a photo that we'll put up. It was a recreation of an Arwen dress from the third Lord of the Rings movie that I hand-beaded and wore to a midnight premiere with elf ears. And I was so tired when I got home from the premiere, I went straight to bed and wore the ears to school the next day. Huge nerd.
What is your favourite costume you've made? Or what costume are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of my yellow striped Regency dress based off an original in the Victoria and Albert Museum. It has a distinctive braided trim around the neck that turned out really, really well.
What costume do you dream of making?
Not so much dream of making, but dream of finishing, because I have the attention span of a fruit fly on meth, and we've also had no events this year at all. So I think probably my Nankeen riding habit would be my number one.
What is a sewing task you love versus a sewing task you hate?
I really love piping. It's not that hard to make. I find it enjoyable, which works out well when I sew with my friend Julie because she hates it. So she'll do something that I don't like, and I'll do piping for her. One of the things that I hate doing is ironing, but I don't think that I've managed to talk her into doing my ironing yet.
Would you rather sew wool or silk?
Wool. All the time. Everywhere. Maybe even a pile of wool on the floor for me to roll around in. That would be fine.
Would you rather go to a themed event or pick your own theme event?
Both of those can be really fun, but I have to say that it's pretty magical when you've got a bunch of people all dressed in the same time period, particularly as dusk is falling and torches start to go up in camp. It's just really cool.
Would you rather attend a big ball or an intimate dinner?
For me, an intimate dinner would be best. I really enjoy talking and connecting with people, and also I have not 2 left feet, but more like 3 or 4.
Do you prefer to machine sew or hand sew?
I'm a very slow hand stitcher, but I can do it while sitting on the couch with a cat in my lap, so even though it takes me longer, that one wins.
Do you like wigs, hair pieces, or your own hair?
I like a combination of my own hair and hair pieces. Now that my hair is pretty long, I can do a lot with it, but sometimes an extra braid or switch can really help. A wig I've never actually worn, but it sounds itchy to me.
Name 5 small businesses you love for costume things.
My first would be In the Long Run Designs by my friend Gloria. She does beautiful historical jewelry, and also sometimes she has knitwear. I have a pair of knitted 18th century mitts that I also use for early 19th century, and they are one of my favorite accessories. Another one is M. Brinkle Hatter. That's Matthew Brinkle, and he does wool felt hats. Rich has a Regency round hat from him that's just really nicely done, and that's not something I'm ever going to be able to do. So his work is exemplary, and we really like supporting a small business. Another one that I love is Anna Worden Bowersmith. She does straw hats, and she does Regency and Civil War, American Civil War. Her things go up on Etsy, and they usually sell pretty fast, so I'm pumped when I can snap something up. Timely Tresses is another favorite. I've taken one bonnet workshop in my career as a living historian, and what it taught me is that I'm bad at it, I'm slow, and I hate it. So anytime I can find someone to make and or decorate whatever it is that's supposed to go on my head, I am in favor. My last one is Red Threaded, which I'm sure everyone knows about by now, but Cynthia makes size-inclusive historic corsetry for a number of different time periods, and she's also an ethical employer, so it's really nice to be able to support both a great business and a good friend.
Name 5 YouTubers we should all check out.
Obviously, my friend Robin, SewLoud, who posed these 20 questions. She's really fun. She's got a lot of really quirky humor in her videos, and I find them super enjoyable. Also, her dog Ellie is adorable. Elin Abrahamsson, Opus Elenae, and Morgan Donner are slowly but surely luring me to the medieval side of historical costuming and potentially living history, although in the US, we don't go back that far as white people. And My last one is not for costuming or sewing, but Townsends is a historical vendor for 18th and early 19th century gear for your camp, clothing, accessories, all that sort of stuff. And they run a historical cooking channel, which is super informative, and I've learned a lot.
Favourite colour?
Teal is my favorite color. You would not know it looking at my reenacting wardrobe. That's mostly reds, browns, pinks, that sort of thing. But eventually I'll have my sewing room set up and I'll do a tour and you will see the power of the teal.
Pearls or sparkles?
I do love me some sparkle, but I think pearls are timeless and they go for any time period.
What is a costume tip you've dreamt of taking?
Well, we were gonna go to the Jane Austen Festival in Bath this year, but it was canceled, and my US passport is so much toilet paper at this point because all the borders are closed, and actually, toilet paper might be more valuable, so that put the kibosh on that plan.
Favourite cocktail?
My favorite cocktail is a frozen strawberry margarita that some very kind person brings directly to my table and sets in front of me with a sugar rim. And I really miss that.
Who is a costumer you'd love to meet?
My costumer I would love to meet is not necessarily on YouTube, but my friend Alessandra from Switzerland and I have been friends for probably a couple of decades now. And someday, when I'm allowed to travel again, I would love to meet her. So, Alessandra, if you see this, someday, hopefully, I get to meet you.
Plain or patterned?
Patterned, obviously.
Use a pattern or make your own?
I kind of combine my own skills with draping and using a pattern. Patterns very rarely fit me right out of the envelope because I am itty bitty this way, not so itty bitty this way, and I have little T-Rex arms. So I usually have to start with a pattern, modify the heck out of it, and by the end I have my own thing going on.
What is your favourite era to wear? Favourite to make?
My favorite era to wear and make would be Regency. This was supposed to be my year of 1790s, but again, no events. I just really love how comfortable and easy to wear the fashions are, and there's a huge diversity in the fashions that you can create.
What is one thing we don't know about you?
One thing you don't know about me is that once upon a time, I wanted to be a veterinarian. And I actually did several internships with vet offices in my area, and it was really cool. I'm really into the science-y, medical, animal care type of thing, but I'm really bad at science in an academic setting. So vet school would have been a very bad idea for me. So I changed my major to Spanish, and now I'm on YouTube, I guess.
Thank you for watching our first video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow Latina Living History on Facebook and Instagram. See you next time.
Cue intro music.